Okay. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Namah Pranavartaya Shuddha Jnanaika Murtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Nidaye Sarva Vijnanam Vishaje Vavaroginam Gurave Sarvalokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayam Mudirayet. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Krishnam Narayanam Vande, Krishnam Vande Vrijapriyam, Krishnam Dvaipayanam Vande, Krishnam Vande Pradasutam. Janmat Yasya Adonyad Idrat Atesh Avigyasvarat, Tene Brahmagritaya Adikaviye, Muhyandi Yatsurayaha, Tejo Varimudangita Vinimayo, Yatratri Shagosmara, Dhamna Svena Sada Nastaguham, Satyam Varam Dhimahi. Namasankirtanam Yasya Sharvapava Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Samanastam Namami Harim Param Satchitananda Rupaya Visvotpatyada Hedave Tabatraya Vinashaya Sri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha. Yam Pravrajantam Amipedam Apedakrityam Dvaipayano Vinakakadara Ajuhava Putredi Tanmaya Taravo Viden Nedugu Tam Sarvabhuta Kritayam Munimanatosmi. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Namaskaram. So we are following Sage Narada, who has now come to Badrikashram. He is in the penance of finding out what the Akashavani told him. What the Akashavani told him? You have to do a good action, a good task, a good yagyam you need to do. But what it is and how it is to be done will be revealed to you by a sage. So he was coming to Badrikashram. There he meets Sanat Kumara. And to Sanat Kumara, he offered his prostration and he said, please teach me what is that Satkarma that I need to do. He was very worried, So we have been traveling along with him, Sometimes you had to think, why I go to this satsang, why I'm doing this, time-intensive process of learning. Am I learning something intellectually interesting for me? Yes, maybe. Does it motivate me to find more and more to research and understand? Maybe. But the bottom line is, it is to heal me. It is to give me transformation in me. There is absolutely no need to study all these Puranas, Itikasas. For the knowledge you can do, but knowledge is like wealth. It'll go away. Even though relatively speaking, knowledge is more permanent compared to the material wealth. But an amnesia, a dementia just takes away everything. So therefore, it is the quest for us is not even the knowledge. Knowledge is a means, becomes a sadhana. It's a sadhyam. The sadhyam is, may I be fulfilled. That's exactly what it is. Even to see the darshan of God and seeing the God. No, it is for my absolute selfish reason that I need to be fulfilled. If I am fulfilled, I don't need God. Because a fulfilled, eternally blissful state, it's divinity itself. Therefore, if you take that as the goal, then all this forms into relevance. Otherwise you would think sometime, every day I have to go to the satsang, listen to this, and what is it for me? Because many things I don't understand. It's interesting for during the class, then it's fine. Now, if that approach is there, you miss the point. We have to really, like Narada is, it runs around with the like head burning, like Parikshit was with the head burning, like Nachiketu was with the head burning. We must be with one single desire, which nobody can quarrel with me saying this, because the ultimate desire, the ultimate Purushartham that we all need is fulfillment. So therefore, what is the purpose of this learning is that we apparently learning through a history told as a story, where there is a bhakti as a lady and jnana vairagya are the children. They were not together enjoying life because they were tired. Narada could not wake them up with their jnanam, Bhagavad Gita, Upadesam. So therefore, they want to regenerate that. That's a story. The truth is, if you regenerate bhakti and jnana vairagyam in you, the Vrindavan is in you, you get fulfillment. Sometimes you think, yeah, I get it. I listen to this Bhagavad Gita class, I listen to this satsang, I understand all this, but I'm not able to follow it. That is the truth. It is not the lack of intelligence that we suffer from. We are all intelligent. It is the ability to assimilate and apply that. Therefore, it is not the intellectual capability is a problem. It is the mental attitude to commit. So therefore, the lethargy of mental attitude comes because we don't have vairagyam. Vairagyam is what? Vairagyam is not giving away things. Vairagyam is giving away things that are not important to achieve fulfillment. So therefore, the goal is very much a common sense goal. It may be 5,000 years old, the Bhagavatam is, we don't care, but it speaks the truth. That's why it's called Sanatana, eternally fresh. This talks about my problem. I want to be fulfilled in my life. So therefore, that fulfillment needs vairagyam, to detach from that which not going to give me fulfillment. But what is that that's going to give me fulfillment, to give me vairagyam? For that, I need jnanam. But interesting, this jnanam and vairagyam is not that you don't have. We all have. What is the example? I mean, you just need one big blow in life. Something happens, devastating happens in your life. God forbid, it doesn't happen. But if it happens, things that you treasure become very ordinary. Television, football match, it's all unimportant. See, you can throw away things when something hits hard. So vairagyam is already there. You are able to throw away. But it is weak. Jnanam is already there. You cannot get jnanam. If you're getting jnanam, it will go away. Anything you get will go away. Like the body you get, go away. But what will not go away is what you already have. Jnanam you already have. You just go to you listen to eulogy, somebody has died, and you go there and give them a final goodbye. And the few hours in your mind, you think life is what? Nothing. Jnanam comes in, but it doesn't stay. So the jnana vairagyam that is tormented by the old age in the Vrindavan is exactly what is tormenting inside us, tired inside. The energy that wants to bring it up is devotion, bhakti. That lady that is there, bhakti, she's fresh, but she's not able to do it. It's our bhakti, our devotion. We won't be here in the satsang if we don't have bhakti. But we want that energy. So we need a guru. So Narada was a guru. So we go to the guru, and guru gave some upayams. But guru always gives paramaguru, sadguru. We don't need to worry. You give it to guru. The guru will find his paramaguru and get his knowledge. So he says, look, I need to now go. So he asked, he prayed. The Akashamani said, go to Madrasham. So he came. What it was, last week he also saw, what did Sanat Kumara told Narada? Chinta ma kuru. Don't worry. Devarishi harshas chitte samavaha. Don't worry, Devarishi. Bring happiness in your mind. That is the lakshana of a guru. When I go to the guru and say, my mind is worried, even lakshana for any human being, hitam vata. Manushyam, the Manushya Janmam is Narajanmam Durlabham. Why? Because it's a very rare birth. It is the only birth where you can empathize for others. Karunyam can be shown. If you don't show it, you become an asura. So when somebody comes and says, look, I need help, I have a problem, you can very boldly say, don't worry, the problem will go away. You may not know how to solve it, but you know there is a solver, there is a healer, Parabrahma. So when you have devotion, bhakti, all will go. So that's why he said, Chinta Makuru, don't worry. Then he inculcated the glory of the Narada. Why are you worried? If somebody comes and worries to me, look, my job is in a trouble, or I said, why do you worry? You can write, you can program, you can counsel, you can consult, you can teach. So what I try to do at that, I try to bring them the unapplied faculties of his abilities. Why I'm doing this? I'm not saying that you'll get a job there. I'm saying you have so much potential. So, see, these are not Adhyatmika Vidya, but I'm saying these things should be, we take it to remodify ourselves. Narada, you are not an ordinary person. You are a Bhagyavan. You are blessed. You are Krishna Bhakta. If you are Krishna Bhakta, you are a Vairagya Yoga Surya, he said. You are like a sun among the Viragis. Don't worry. You should not be worried about that. So the thing that you are looking for, I'm going to tell you, he said. I'm going to tell you, but you should listen to it with a clear mind and a clear devotion. So this is again a mark of a great guru. I'm going to give you the thing, you are qualified to listen to it, you have all the faculties. In spite of that, please commit your mind and your intellect. That is something only you can do. So what do you mean by committing my mind? Committing my mind is, at least physically, I don't get any interruption to my listening session, Shravanam. Put the phone away, mute it. Try to get focused. Have some light food. Don't have too much food. You'll fall asleep. Sit comfortably, your posture. Make all the adjustments so that you're physically not interrupted, mentally not interrupted, and intellectually focused. That is, the natural tendency is when I say something, or when somebody says something to you, tangentially your mind will go. You pick up a word and you ask a question. Question comes in immediately. And the intellect has got the pride of self-indulging in the quest. It will do, it's fine, but that is the important quality. But that self-indulgence of questioning it is not important. In fact, not necessary. In fact, it should not be there to do Shravanam. Shravanam is a time where you apply, you assimilate, like a child. Accept. Don't question it. Don't ask it. But there is a time. Contemplation is there. Mananam is there. Mananam is a time where you bring back, like a cow, bring back the food and digest it in the mouth. You bring back. What did he say? How does it fit with my experience and knowledge? Then you analyze it. Then you come to the question. Then you go to the guru and ask the question. So the Shravanam is what the whole Bhagavatam is about. Shravanam. This is not an excuse to shut your rational questioning mind. No, you cannot question, because if you accept it, the layers of points that comes to you makes the doubts and the questioning part of your mental makeup go away, because it answers your doubts. It's so beautiful. I think most of you might have experienced, when you are, especially in a professional work, when you have problem to solve, like a woman having the pregnancy of it. Pregnant women suffer a lot. That's why motherhood is a divine. They go through so much of physical problem, and that's why women are strongest sex. They can carry the fetus in their tender womb. But they suffer, but in spite of the suffering, they enjoy it because holding that biggest revelation, what it is going to be. Same way, when you have a problem, intellectual problem, you think about it, you worry about it, but it is very happy worries. But when you have that problem resolved without an external influx to you, it's called a light moment. That happiness is inexplicable. See, there is no intellectual pursuit, but this is the laboring the question in your mind and nurturing it, and it delivers that fetus of wonderful revelation to you. So he set the scene so that Narada is now sitting comfortably with him. Then he said, in the last class we saw, Narada, that Akashavani's instruction to you is called Jnana Yagyam. It's a Yagyam. That's what Yagyam you should do. And this Yagyam has been given by so many rishis in so many ways. Loke Bhagavaha Mandayana. So many people are told in so many ways. Dravya Yajnaha, Tapa Yajnaha, Yoga Yajnaha, Tatapare, Swadhyaya Yajnaha, Jnana Yajnaha, they too Karma Vishusakaha. They have given you a lot of yagyams, Dravya Yagyam. Yagyam where you put things into this thing, you create a homakunta, put things into the fire. For an uninitiated, it all looks barbaric and primitive. But for those initiated, they will understand this. So there are a lot of yajna. So should I go and do such yajna? Is it what the Akashavani told me? And Sanat Kumara said, those yajnas are largely trying to teach you the means to acquire happiness in this world and happiness in the life after. We raise our hand, yes, that's exactly what I want. I want a son, I want a son-in-law, I want a long life, I want to get out of this disease. So what do? Do this yoga, do this yajnam, do this prarthana, do this parikaram. Yeah, they will all work. Believe it all work. You do. But Sanat Kumara says, all that is for that swarga, that happiness in this world, happiness after. But you, Narada, Yoga Surya, this happiness is temporal. That's why even the Devendra is always in a kind of a tender hooks, because his job will be gone. Brahma's job will be gone. Few manvantras, he is dead. He's gone. So all these gods will be gone. So you can say, at least I can be a Deva. Yes. But if you become a Deva, you would say, can I be Devendra? If Devendra, you say, can I be a Rishi? Can I be a Sayujam? Can I be like God for you? Can I be Nitya Surya with you? So we will not be fulfilled. Fulfillment doesn't happen there. As somebody said, for some good deeds, if you go to heaven, you get a place into heaven, if there is one. Well, there you see so many entrants, so many VIPs coming there. You may be going in a Rolls Royce, but there may be something which is far more better than Rolls Royce. Somebody is coming there. Now your golden suit is nothing in front of somebody wearing a diamond attire. You'll start realizing it. This is heaven. Still, there are somebody better than me. Yes, there are. So you can ask for those things. You can live happily. But for the initiated, you want beyond that. Therefore, he said, there, the secret of attaining this Vaikuntham. Vaikuntham is Vikuntham, which is the Atma Jnanam. is also there in the rituals. When you do the ritual, see, this is the beauty of it. It's not ritual is one side and Vedantam is another side. No. Vedantam is in the ritual. And when you do Vedantam, you do ritual. In Vedantic rituals, your body is your Yajna Kuntam. You're going to see that. But when you do rituals are outside you. But Vedantam is undercurrent. So he said, those things are secret. I want to tell you all that. Satkarma Suchakaha Jnana Yajnaha Budaihi Samrutaha Shrimad Bhagavata Alap Sadukita Sukhatibhi. Satkarma, that Satkarma which the Akashavani told you. Satkarma Suchakaha. Suchaka means with secretly what the Akashavani told you, that Gita, very, very famous. What is that? Sukhati Bihi means Shukar and all those rishis who Gita, who has praised Shrimad Bhagavata Mahatmyam. Hey Narada, that Satkarma is, you know what? That is what Shukar and all those rishis praised and sang. That is Shrimad Bhagavata Mahatmyam. Mahatmyam means singing it louder. We're going to see when you come to Bhagavata or Nama Sankirtanam, it has to be loud. You're going to say that. You have to. It's not mentally you can recite, but that is good. But you need Gosham. Bhakta Gosham has to be there. Bhakti Jnana Viraha non tat Goshane Balam Mahat Vajjishchadit Vayo Kashtam Sukam Bhakti Bhavishyati. Oh Narada, this Bhakti Jnana Viraha. What happens to Bhakti Jnana Vairagyam and all this? What will happen? Tat Goshena Balam Mahat. That means you get the Bhagavatam, Shrimad Bhagavata Alapana, and you do that, Goshena. Goshena means loudly proclaim. When you do that, Bhakti Jnana Vairagyam will get Mahat Balam. Great power they will get. Because of that power, Dvayo Kashtam Rajishri. Dvayo here he talks about Jnana Vairagyam. Dvayo Kashtam Rajishyati. Their trouble will be gone. Jnana Vairagyam trouble is what? Not having the energy. The energy that will be gone, they'll be fresh. Therefore, Bhaktehe Sukam Pavishyati. Bhakti will become happy. So he's given you what is Satkarma and what is a Prayojana. Satkarma is singing Srimad Bhagavatam, Alapana. When you do that, Bhakti Jnana will get the Balam, and therefore Bhakti becomes very happy. See, this Goshena, Shabdam. Why do we have to say Japam Parayanam? You can lead towards mental contemplation, But when you come to in Kali Yuga, you have to say louder. Rama Rama, loud. Rama Sankirtanam, loud. Shabdam is everything in life, in psychology, in medical psychology, they what's called a psychoacoustics. This is a great, especially UK is a leading one in this. They find out how the sound therapy gives healing, This is all taboo in 60s, People won't believe that sound can do. But ultrasound change everything, When you give ultrasound, what does ultrasound do? It not only penetrates the physical layers and show you the internal thing for the medics to look at it, it can even destroy the kidney stones and things like that. So the sound has an effect. You will listen to me and somebody calls you, oh, Dr. Mani, then you will turn. The sound will come there. It creates an action in you. Your intangible sound can create action in you. But this sound, because it's intellectually perceived, Because you call my name, I know my name, therefore I turn back. But a thunder, a sudden burst will give you a jerk. So even if it is incomprehensible, there is an effort in it. Therefore, when you reverberate the sound, see, maunam also has sound. You know, in para, pashyanti, madhyama, vaikari, nama, in Lalita Sahasranama. This is a great, that one mantra you can talk for days. Vaikari is where Vaikari is Vaikari, poetically it means a force which has been modulated, battered by the windpipes. Have you seen the water that flows in and thrashed by the rocks and then comes out with a great vigor? Same way, the prana shakti, which starts from the Mooladhara, the para, then para is the base in your near your anus, the place. From there, the energy comes in. Then pashyanti comes near your gut. Sometimes you feel, I have a gut feeling. What's the gut feeling? It is your revelation is going to come. A thought is going to come. A word is going to come. You don't know what it is because we are not able to hear that sound. We are not equipped to hear the sound. And then when the pashyanti becomes madhyama, when it comes to the heart, it becomes the thought. Vritti. The thought comes in. It is still not a word, only you know it. The thought when comes in, it creates in the throat vaikari. It is bombarded by your karma vasanas, your gunas. There are so many things happens because sometimes you think something, say something, right? You say, oh, I didn't mean to say that. What changed it? Your karmas, your gunas. Sometimes you think the word doesn't come. Everything is a blessing. We think that we do things. You don't do things. You take a tablet, you don't know how you swallow it. Swallowing is the greatest blessing. If you can't swallow, you can't eat anything. You don't know how to swallow. There is a system that swallows. So we as a witnessing being, we are nothing. So there is no need of having an ego, I do it. No. You just witness it. You take a seat. You got a fantastic seat. Seat is to sit down and watch. So, okay, I'm going somewhere else. So here the sound comes in. Here he says, Goshena sound. Have you been to, of course, we all gone to the Indian temples, and especially when you go to India, it will be like a celebration of sound. Somebody is reciting Veda mantras, somebody is singing, especially in the temples where the festivities happens. Sangam will be born, conch will be blown, drums will be beaten, Veda mantras are one side. It looks like a noise pollution, right? But you see, when you stand there, listen to it, it heals you. It heals you. Why? Because there is certain resonance. Resonance is a frequency in which the atomic particles oscillates. Everything is oscillation. Action is oscillation. The cosmic dance of Shiva. The oscillating part, anything can oscillate, only there is something which is non-oscillating. Otherwise, you can't say oscillation. A live wire is only there's a ground wire because you measure the amplitude variation. The oscillation because there is something which unoscillates, achalam, arunachalam. The achalam is the Shivam, which does not move. That's a reference, that's a power, that's a effulgence. The Shakti is the oscillates. Sarvam Vishnumayam Chakate. Everything is oscillates. When it oscillates, there's a frequency. That frequency creates an impact called resonance. I don't want to complicate you, but it is interesting for you to understand. So I appreciate you don't mute the sound of the Veda mantras, you don't feel noisy in the temple, you enjoy it because your healing happens So the sound, therefore resonance, oscillation creates movement, otherwise the achalam. The movement therefore goes as a resonance frequency. The resonance frequency is so weak, it gives a carrier frequency. The carrier frequency is something which carries this. It becomes electromagnetic radiation, and then it creates in a different band. Some get solidified, we can see, some we cannot see, some we can hear. Like, for example, 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, we can hear as a sound wave. You see, everything is sound, therefore. That's why Panchabhuta sound is the ultimate Shabda Brahman, Nada Brahman. That now, here he says, sing loudly means there is particular resonance that makes you feel happy. Some ragas you say is very nice. That's a tonal variation. But the tone, the tune makes your mind into that one. Some shabda will give you happiness. The shabda, when it repeats, when if you sing any lullaby, it finally goes through, it'll sleep. You can sing any language, any song, that mamakaram, omkaram that comes in, lullaby comes in. Even the brain, science says, when the brain is, when you are not thinking anything. So every action is therefore a sound. When I do, speaking is not just a sound. When I see, there's a sound. When I hear, there's a sound. When I do action, there's a sound. Sound is the carrier of energy. So here, they call it the alpha wave. It's something between 8 hertz to 12 hertz. When you are completely blissful, when you're deep sleep, there's a sound that is generated by the brain called an alpha wave. So nowadays, people create alpha wave music, Believe me, you cannot hear the alpha wave. If you can hear, you are really blessed. But what is happening here is, I'm not giving any scientific rationale right now on this, but when you have this, to hear that low frequency, either you have the capacity of the receptors so fine, like an elephant can hear 7 hertz, we cannot. So they can see things that we don't see. But if you want to have that, either you must attune your mind to listen to that. Like Patanjali, you have to go to Patanjali and say, please help me. And he's going to give you Egagram. You need to go through it and we start listening it. When you listen to it, you see it. Everybody else will call you a maniac, a lunatic, because you see things others don't see. The other option is you amplify the sound to such a gigantic volume so that the same frequency is amplified so big, therefore the movement happens slowly. The small step, when you expand it, you see a slow step, right? So when you expand this amplification of sound, the movement becomes very slow, you can hear. Now, forget all this technical jargons. What it means is that when you have this big gosha, big sound happens, sound waves just goes and falls and rise it. When they are raising and falling, it creates that harmonious sound which heals you. So the omkara sound, the alpha wave, and whatever the way you want to science calls it, it is embedded in the apparent noise that you hear. That's why you feel happy. That's why you feel composed. So here, therefore, I took a little bit more time, but just to give you, see, I'm saying how every word you can just dwell deep to open up. So no, don't feel ashamed to sing God's name in the temple. Don't feel ashamed in the bhajans not to sing. Don't say, I don't need to sing. You don't need to sing. You just add to this noise, because you never know. And this noise merged together, that dhwani that makes it consoling, feeling good happens. Now, what happened by that? Pralayam hi gamishyanti Shrimad Bhagavata Mahatmyam Kale dosha ime sarva Simha Sabdhat Vrigha iva. Pralayam hi. The pralayam, that means that dissolution of things with your thundering noise of Bhagavata Alapana, this Namasangeetam everywhere, Bhagavata Shravanam everywhere. What happened? Dvanihi Kale dosha ha ime sarve Kali dosha. All this dosha, all these blemishes of this Kali is gone. Gamishanti. It's also gone. It gives you peace. I'll give an example. Simga Shabdat Vrika iva. Vrika means wolves. Wolves are vrikas in Sanskrit. What happened to these wolves when they see the garjana of Simha, the roar of Simha? The lion roars, all those animals, all those wolves run away, hide away. So all this kalmisham in our mind, though they are impediments to jnana vairagyam, will run away from our heart because of this simha shabdam of hearing it. Jnana vairagya samyukta bhakti prema rasavaha prati geham prati janam tadahe kridam karishyati. Okay. Prati geham prati janam tadahe kridam karishyati. So he is still giving you the benefit of it. Jnana vairagya samyukta bhakti. So bhakti which is joined with the jnana vairagyam, these three together. What happened? Prema rasa avaha. So, but they got up now. The prema rasam, the elixir of love, the essence of love, avaha. Your heart is full of love. You become so blessed. See, the love that comes, happiness is another word is love. If you're not able to be happy, you cannot give love. Remember that. If you want to love anybody, first you need to be happy yourself. But the happiness itself brings love. So he says it will happen. Where? Pratigeham pratijanam. See, this is what the Guru's power. Narada made a promise to Bhakti. Gehe, jane. Don't worry, Bhakti, I will establish you in every house, in every heart. He did not tell that to Guru, but Guru is telling, Pratigeham pratijanam. In every house, in every person's heart. What happened? Tadaha kridam karishyati. Kridaha means playing. Bhakti will be playing in everybody's heart. This is where that Guru Bhakti gives you the benefit. You go with a question, but Guru not only answers the questions, he also answers why you had the question. What else you have promised? So he says, don't worry, everything will happen. So this finishes the second chapter. Let me see how much time I have. Okay. So if you remember, we have been going through the Padmapurana. Padmapurana is a great Puranas giving a lot of things. And there in chapter 193 to 96, it talks about the Bhagavata Purana. And we took 93 and 94, we finished it. It's 95. But what I'm thinking is now from now on, I've been going through almost every sloka because it's interesting, because the final result is no big deal to show, because it's a preparation what is important. That's the reason why I labored the points. In the next two chapters, I'll just pick up those key slokas and then probably we will try to finish it in the next class or maybe the one more class. So now Sudha comes in and tells, remember the story. This is the flashback. So Sudha comes back and say, Ada Deva Rishi, Tatra Kumaraha Anumanyacha, Uvacha Pranado Vachyam, Jnana Yajna Pratadara. So having seen the son of Kumara, Narada bows to him, showing a lot of respect to him and say, because he wants to do the Jnana Yajna. So I want to do Jnana Yajna, and therefore he is asking him what to do. Narada Uvacha, Jnana Yajnam Karishyami, Sukashastra Kadojvalam, Bhakti Jnana Viragana, Srabanate Prayattanaha. Oh Guru, Thank you. I now understood. That Satkaryam is Shrimad Bhagavata Gosham, Bhagavata Alapam, Bhagavata Padesham. I will do that. That is a Jnana Yajnam. See, normally people think when you listen to the Puranas, this is the bhakti. Some of those Dvaitavadis will say Namasankirtanam is bhakti. It's nothing to do with the Jnana Yogam, Jnana Margam, but Jnanam becomes subservient to bhakti. We have no quarrels. But we take it as a Jnana Yajnam itself because Jnana Yajnam is Bhagavata Katha Shravanam. So if you are listening to Bhagavata Katha, you are doing Jnana Yajnam. You are not listening to a story. Katha here is this, what comes from the Guru's mind. So Narada says, Guru, I will take up. Karishyami. Sukha Shastra Katha Ujvalam. Shuka Rishi, whatever he gave him, I use the word Shastra. Shastra is normally used for Shruti, for the Vedam. Here, Shuka Shastra, the Bhagavata Purana is Shastra because it is full of Veda Jnana. Katha Ujvalam. I will say those things. Bhakti Jnana Viraganam Srabanarte Prayatnatha. So here he comes his humility or self-doubt. I do this, Guru. By doing this, I will try to do establishment of Bhakti Jnana Vairagya. He cannot say, I will do it, because he is still a Sishya in front of the Guru. Prayatanaha. Of course, Kumara is going to tell them, don't worry, you don't do any prayatna. Sometimes, we say prayatna, we use the word prayatna. Yatnam means effort. When we start the Vedanta, we say yatnam is important. Karyam, in any life science, you have to do. Effort is important. You can't be lazy. Good effort is prayatna. So without doing karma, you cannot do action. All that is good. But only to the point where you become a karma yogi, that you don't call your effort as your prayatna. The action becomes action embellished in your inaction. Now, Krishna is always very cheeky. He never gives you directly, He says, inaction, inaction, action, inaction. Some of us, we learned in Bhagavad Gita. When you do inaction, that means, what is inaction means? It's not doing. It's doing as if you are not doing. How can I do as if I'm not doing? It is, the answer is in the question. I am not doing means I is not there. That I do without the I in it. It happens. Like a tree that blossoms. Like the sun that shines. This is the most excellent example to remember. Sun gives light. Sun does not give light. It does not do an act of giving. Sun is there, light is there. We see it in action. So that is that kind of unison where you create an effect of an action but without doing action. You go to a place and you lighten up people. There is happiness comes in. Why happiness comes in? When you take a light in a room, darkness goes away, right? We believe in it. Light is, after all, it is tangible to us, but it is intangible energy. In some form, light is intangible. You can't even see it. Same way, love is intangible. So if you are full of love, when you go, you are a lamp of love. Love is there everywhere. That's a pure love. So Karma Yoga, it applies to all these things. So, of course, Narada says, I'll do prayatnam. So he's going to be told that you don't do the prayatnam, but if you choose the right place, right modality of it. So then he asked the question. So I have taken a vow, I'll do the trial. Now, Guru, tell me where I should do, how I should do, what is the rules for it? Kutra karyo maya yajnaha, sthanam tatva Vachidamiha, Vachimiha, Magima, Shugasastrasya, Bhaktavyo, Vedaparagahi. Oh Guru, Kutrakaryo, Maya Yajnaha. Maya Yajnaha, here in a passive voice. Kutrakarya, what action I should do, what action should be done by me. Kutrasthanam here. Here, this place, Kutrasthanam, well, which is the place where I should do. Shuka Shastra hi Mahima, the glory of the Shuka Shastra, Bhagavatam, which is Veda Paragaihi. Para means the weight of Vedas. That means what it means. It's not completely weight. It means the essence of Vedas. The essence of Vedas is in the Shuka Shastra, in the Bhagavatam. Katham Bhaktyo. How I am going to say it? When I am going to say, how I am going to say it? So he's full of questions. Tell me how to do, where to do. Kiyat Divasai Shavya Shrimad Bhagavati Katha Ko Vidis Tatra Kartavyo Jnana Yajna Visharadha Kiyat Bihi Divasaihi. Kiyat Bihi. So, okay, how many days I should do? How many days? Divasaihi Shrimad Bhagavata Katha. How many days I must listen to this or alapana of this Bhagavata? Ko Vidihi. What is the rule? What is the formality, procedure for it? Tatra Kartavyo Jnana Yajna Visharadaha. In how many days I should do, under the what rituals, what procedures I should follow, so that the Jnana Yajna Visharadaha. Visharada means I get the excellence of it. The efficacy of this achieved in how many days? So basically, Narada has asked definitive questions now. Now he knows what to be done. He has to explain or recite Shrimad Bhagavatam for everybody to hear. Gosham, he is asking, where should I do, how I should do, how many days I should do, and so on and so forth. Kumara Ujuku, Kumara is saying, Shunu Naradaha, Ashyamo, Velanamya Vivekinaha. Gangatvara Samibe. Tadamananta Namakam. Tadaman Ananta Namakam. Okay. He's not finished the sentence there. We're going to now listen to Sanat Kumara's. Now we should get into this groove. We should have the bhavana. See, bhavana is very important hereafter. What is bhavana? Bhavana is visioning. So far we are visioning the story of Narada going. So those who are committed, dedicated, has been building the story day after day, week after week. You can visualize Narada, you can put some clothing for him, some tambura for him, envisioning it and go through it. But this is one way of visioning. Your heart is visioning, your intellect is controlling it, because, okay, you are visioning too much, let's stop it now, we need to go. So the heart is involved, the intellect is visioning it. Intellect is managing it. That is a normal thing to do. The mind has been involved. But I am going to ask you, as we progress further, when you look at the Adhyatmika Artham, the true bhavana changes in the course. I tell you how. The intellect becomes the imaginer. It means, what is intellect being imaginer? It means intellect is involved. It doesn't scrutinize anymore. It doesn't control anymore. It's the only way you can do that is, you don't think Narada is an external being. You think Narada is yourself. Because the only person that you don't analyze is you. Intellect has no time for it. It analyzes everything outside. Therefore, you don't want to analyze. So therefore, in the Adhyatma Bhavana, your intellect becomes the actor, performer. your hridayam becomes the witness. The hridayam looks at it. Your mind, hridayam is looking at your bhavana. So then it becomes a nididhyasana. See, it's also, say, this is not difficult at all. Bhagavan says, Ayye adi sulabham. This Adhyatma Vidya is very, very easy. But what is difficult is to psych yourself, to bring yourself to the level of that gradation, that revelation, to be fumed with this inflammable gas in you must be there. A spark will put you up there. So all these things we do, all this shravanam, all this kramas, all this bhakti, all this karma yoga, all this is not to attain anything, but to make you such a bundle of sparkable energy sitting there. So here we need to take it. So he says here, Shrunu Narada, Narada, listen now. Vashyamaha, I will tell you. Again, you see, Guru always points out, Vinamraya Vivekine. Vinamraya Vivekine. He is addressing Narada. Oh, Narada, you got Vinayam and you wear Vivekam. See, again, there's a lot of sukshma there. Vinayam means obedience. So you must be very obedient when you listen to that. You cannot come to a lecture or anything and listen with an arrogance of, I'll see how he talks. I'll see how I can find fault in him. You may find fault in his talk because you are looking at the facts that your mind factorized it. You miss the import of it. So here you must have Vinayam. But what happens? Somebody is so Vinayam, so obedient, who listens. But would he get benefit of it? May not be immediately. Because what he needs is Vivekam. If you are Vinayam, before you come to the Shravanam of great Vedanta Saram, convert the Vinayam to awaken your Vivekam. Go and use the Vinayam to do Seva. Like Todakacharya doing Seva. Todakacharya was Shankara's disciple. His job is to wash his clothes and do everything. And other disciples used to have a bit of an ego. Like Mandal Mishra, who is a great Purva Mimamsika before. They all don't agree. And once Shankara was waiting for all the students assembled, Todaka was not coming. He was just hoisting the wet clothes in the garden and coming a little bit late. And Mandal Mishra was, why Shankara is waiting for him? He said, Guru, let's start. Punctuality is important. That fellow is he is not going to understand anyway. But a Vinaya is God, Vivekam doesn't have. So he comes and Shankara looks at him, smiles. Spontaneously, Todakacharya gives Todakashta, the beautiful Todaka meter. It's a very difficult meter to recite. It comes, goes to him and sits in the class. Everybody was stunned. He's Viveki. It's a Guru Kripa is there, but the Vivekam he got it because his Vinayam he used for all these days to do Guru Seva. So we can go to the Guru. We may not understand anything because we may not have the capacity to understand. We do Seva. That's why when you go to these Gurukulams, when you do the ashramas, the Guru will say some people to go and do this and then sit down here and listen. Some you will say, go the cook, go do the thing. And if you don't understand, you will think he's discriminative. He's going to push me away. Why am I doing it all the time? Just cleaning up this Guru's house, ashram. I'm not given any knowledge. No, he's giving knowledge, but he's making you more perfect than others because Vinayam will create Vivekam in you. So this is some lessons. When you go to the ashram, keep that in mind. So here he says, oh, you will have the Vinayam and Vivekam. Therefore, you will understand. Now I'm telling you, Ganga Dwara Samipe, Tadam Ananta Namakam. Tadam Anantakam. That means Tadam Ananta Namakam. You must go to the sentence is not finished. You must say Tadam Anantakam Asti. Near Ganga Dwara, near Ganges, there is a a place called Anandam Asti. He's going to say Ganga Dwara is Haridwar. Some of you have gone to Haridwar. Haridwar is in Uttarakhand in India. Dwar means the entrance. Haridwar, Haradwar, you can say whichever you way. It is the entrance to Hara Hari. The Shabda Hara means to remove. The masculine sentence is Haraha, the feminine sentence is Harihi. To remove what? You see, removal is the God's job, not giving. He can give you nothing, but he can remove. Only he can remove it. We can't remove it. We can try to remove what we inculcated, our desires, our greed, our enmity, which all we infused. We can remove it by going to satsanga and all that. But there is something which is inherent nature. What is that? Is it the karma pala? No. Karma pala is what I done, what I incurred. Then what is that is inherent blemish I have? Which we cannot answer it. It is avidya. Avidya is ignorance. Ignorance you cannot really remove. We think that ignorance is inborn nature, right? It is inborn nature because you do not know. Now, would you therefore take your life project that I am a researcher, I want to find the root cause of everything. Therefore, I am going to find out how did I have ignorance. You will now find out. I tell you, do you know about this particular technology? I teach you, you learned it, and you tell me, thank you, sir, I learned it now, I know it now. I didn't know it before. Then if I ask you, since when you did not know it before? Do you have an answer for it? No. And there is no need to go and research it because you can never find it. But what I can do is to end this one. Now, what would be the best research project for you? One, to find out when did I start having ignorance, or when can I end it? A practical and a successful person will say, when can I end it? It can end. Because the proof is there. The knowledge that you do not have about this particular subject is ended because the knowledge ended that. So in a small way, you can prove that ignorance can be ended. Avidya can become vidya, ended. Now, this avidya is a perennial problem. No vidya can end it. Only the Sri Vidya can end it. The Sri Vidya may be in a ritual form for us to start with. The Sri Vidya is Sri himself or Sri herself. When it says Sri herself, it is the Parashakti. Himself in Shaguna Brahma is Sri Harihi. But the Sri is also called poison, Visham. This Jnanam is Visham, a poison in Sri Kantaha, in Shiva's throat. Visham is there. Why is it called a Visham? Visham is the poison. What does the poison do? It annihilates, removes. So the ultimate removal is the poison. What does it remove? It removes the differences, the perceived differences. Dvaitam it removes. Bedam it removes. Anubedam gone. Abedam is gone. Advaitam is there. When there is nothing to differentiate, you're one among everything. You are the God. You are the love. Now, that's, I don't want to go up there. I want to go step by step. But I want to have this one. So this Harihi, the Harahi, is considered to be Haridwar. Haridwar is the place where the Ganges come in. Drops. So why it's called Haridwar is because before that it is called Devaprayaga. See, the river Ganges, if you've been to Kailash, you know it. So it comes in so many ways, you know. Mandakini and Bhagirathi. But you know the story about Bhagirathan begging Bhagirathi river from the Shiva's head. The Akasha Ganga, the Milky Way, which you see in the galaxies, Ganga, the root of Ganga, the word Ganga. Gam means flow. Gala also the flow, oozing out. That flows. What is flowing? Flowing is the resonance frequency of the oscillation that becomes the light, becomes the effulgence, it becomes the water, it becomes the fire. It flows everywhere. It flows as a Milky Way, Akasha Ganga. And then Lord Shiva said, I'll hold on to you because you're spreading everywhere. And he puts on his tuft. Then it flows as a river in a physical form. So Purana says Bhagirathan prayed for it and river Bhagirati comes in. So Bhagirati comes in one way. Then Alakananta comes in. If you've seen this, it's beautiful. Alakananda is muddy and all that. Bhagirati is so green. And they come and merge. When the great rivers merge, it's called Prayag. Uttarakhand now is called a Prayagraj. It's a land of rivers merging each other. There are 5 or 6 Prayags, are very important Prayags. So the Alakananta is also coming through. There's a river called Mandakini. Mandakini comes and merges with Alakananta. And there is a Prayag. There is a Prayag called, it's called Rudraprayag. Rudraprayag is where Mandakini merges with Alakananta. Then another Nadi called Thauli Ganga. Thauli Ganga comes in and merges a place called Krishna Prayag. So Alakananda gets enhanced. Then Nandakini comes in and merges with all this from different glaciers. They comes and merges with the Alakananda called Nandapriya. Then a river called Pindar Ganga comes in. It's called Karnapriya. So all this Alakananda gets muddy and bigger. It comes there, and this side comes Bhagirathi with the greenish water, with the straight glaciers. And then they come and merge in Devaprayag. And then it comes to the land where civilization was there. It's Haridwar. Therefore, it's called Haridwaram, where that Ganga comes and falls into this one. So it is where the holy place. In that holy place, in that bank, Samipe, near there is a place called Anantam Namakam. There's a place called Anantam. Maybe a village, maybe a place there, he says. We'll come to Tattvartham later. Right now we just take it as a Lakshyartha, as a Padartha. So in that place, what happens there? Nana Rushikanaya Jushtam Devasitta Nishevitam. How much time now? Okay, I'll take maybe 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Nana Trulada Kirnam, Tarulata Kirnam, Namakomana Valika. Okay. So the sentence is not finished. You go on to the Gangadwara, go to the Harikesh. There's a place called Anandam, is a little place. Maybe you can imagine a village in the banks of the Ganges. Now he's giving certain qualities for this place. Nana Rushikanaya Jushtam. Nana means many-fold, many different kinds of rishis, Rishiganam, the assembling of rishis. Jushtam. Jushtam means where they worshipped. It is penance. It's a place where the rishis penance. Devasitta Nishevitam. Nishevitam means who resided, who lived, who dwelled in dwelling. So Devas and Siddhas, they were all their place. So this is a holy place. Nana Taru Lata Akirna. Akirna means embracing it. Lata means the plant. So Taru Lata, the trees and the saplings entwined everywhere. So it is a very beautiful green spread. Namakomala Valukam. Valukam means fine sand. Nava Komala Valukam. Nava means new here. New Komala, very soft sand. So the sand is very soft. Sand becomes soft because the river is flowing many times. So it's a very pure sand is there. So he is describing the place. Ramyam ekanta deshastam hemabatmisu shaurabhakam. So shaurabhakam kat samibasta jivanam vairam chedasi nastidam. Ramyam ekanta deshastam. That place is Ramyam, so enchanting place. Ekantam. Ekantam means it is solitude. Very quiet place. Desham, this place. Suchaura Bhakam. Suchaura Bhakam. Chaura means here it's like a smell of, it's a poetry, golden lotus. I mean, it's so beautiful. It smells like golden lotus. Gold because the Rishi's steps have touched on the sand. So all this is, you have to add this asti, ananda namakam asti. So in the place, everything is there. Yet samibastha, when you go near the place, jivanam vairam chedasi nastitam. Chedas means here the mind. Vairam means virodham, enmity. When you go near the place, from your mind, from anybody's mind, enmity is gone. Because it's full of love. You know, like I told you, when there is a lamp is there, darkness is gone. Yeah, there is light is there, effulgence is there. Where there is love there, this enmity is gone. Now, even in a house, in a shelf, you may have this prayer place where you every day you pray. For the years of praying the same place, that place become very sangityam. Believe in that. So same way here, this sand has been so much oppressed. So he says, it will be there. Jnana yajnas tvaya tatra kartavyoga aprayatnaha apurva rasarupacha tada tatra pavishyati. Jnana yajnaha, this jnana yajnam I told you, tvaya tatra kartavyaha. Tatra, that means that place, in that place, go to that Anandam place where I explained to you, there, kartavyaha, it has to be done by you. How? Aprayatanaha, without any effort. There is lots of sukshma in this. So when you go to the place, when you do that, you will do aprayatana, without an effort. You will see it comes to you. You will do pravachanam very easily. You know, when somebody is standing and giving a talk, it's not because he's prepared or not because he has learned. He might have done preparation, but nothing to do with the preparation. He has to be blessed. The listeners have to be blessed because the words come through him. Aprayatanaha. That's katha. Because katha is not planned. It comes out. Bhagavata katha means every time the Pravachanakarta does the Vyakhyanam, he might have read the book and everything, but there is an element of aprayatanaha comes through. There is something which comes there, which is apurva rasaha. It is very rare. That's why same kada you listen, same story people are telling, but you have a different rasam comes to you. Because like the Upanishad says, the Padartha Devatas sitting inside those words to come out and explain to you. So Bhavishyati. So I'll stop it here because I already taken a 10 minutes of your time. So maybe I may need 2 more classes to finish the whole series of it. So be it. So just to summarize in 2 lines, Narada now attained the Guru's production. Guru has given him all the confidence that he needed to listen to. He unraveled that what he needs to do is Sri Bhagavatam Katachar, Kada Pravachanam, Shravanam, and he given a physical place for him to go. So, and he has told that when you go there and you start doing the Pravachanam, aprayatanaha, without any effort, you're going to have the glory of it. So what we should carry in our mind, we have taken the Bhavam now. We're not only seeing Narada as the cinematography running in our mind, we switch places. We are the Naradas, we are that Pravachanakarta, we are the Sishya. So now we need to find out how to go to Haridwar next week. How can I go there? So we need to find out that. So we stop it there. Om Sudoma Sadgamaya.
Om Asatoma Sadgamaya.
Sadgamaya.
Tamashoma Jyotirgamaya.
Tamasoma
Soma
Jyotirgamaya.
Jyotirgamaya.
Mrityoma Amritam Gamaya.
Pratyoma
Amatam Gamaya.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om
Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Hari Om Tat Sat.
That's it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Raja.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
thank you, thank you.
Sorry, I took more time than
Thank you,
this.
thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Alex.
Thank
It's
you.
a pleasure. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you next week.
Yeah.